of yoga, Ashtanga yoga. While starting the chapter itself, Krishna is emphasizing, even if you are doing Ashtanga yoga, the duty is important. What is duty? Nishkam Karma Yoga is still important. Right? We saw that. He is emphasizing, the first verse if we see, that he is the true mystic, not he who lights no fire and performs no duty. Right? So we saw this, and then afterwards Krishna did mention about, like we went little bit detail on actually different stages of yogis. There are two stages of yogis we discussed. One is basic stage, Yoga Rurukshu stage, and then second is Yoga Rudha, advanced stage. Right? So initial stage is that the yogi should continue to do Nishkam Karma Yoga until he reaches to Yoga Rudha stage. Right? Now what exactly yoga is? Everybody is aware of that, right? Let's try to see in right perspective Ashtanga yoga from our perspective, from Bhakti yoga perspective, right? So what is yoga? Yoga is a yuja, linking with whom? Linking with Krishna, right? And what are these different yoga systems are? So what are the yoga systems are? There are multiple. So usually we know as, Dhyana yoga is one of them. Then Jnana yoga, right? Then Ashtanga yoga is part of Dhyana yoga. Then we have Bhakti yoga, right? So what are these? These are different instruments or vehicles to connect to Lord, right? Connect to Krishna. What all these yoga do? These all yoga actually purifies us. Right? This is actually purification process. Even Karma yoga, right? We missed the major one which we covered in the last. What exactly that does? We multiple time repeated that it's actually purifies. The best is Bhakti yoga. Why it is best? Because not only it purifies, but it also takes away the root cause of the impurity, the bija of the impurity. All other processes are purification process. Right? Now we spent lot of time on this particular part, how Bhakti eradicates bija. Do we know that cycle? You remember that cycle? Anybody? Mataji is learning, so Mataji can tell. Okay, it starts with avidya. Desires. So bijam, that is what we call. So bijam leads to papam, sin. Yeah. Correct. Very good. Yeah, go ahead. Kutam. Yeah, so Kutam actually goes to Bijam. Yeah. Then that cycle is there. Yeah. Just the easiest way I try to remember is basically what is the reason of suffering. Reason of suffering is sin, papam. Right? From papam there are two things happens, right? One is prarabdha and aprarabdha. Prarabdha is already manifested. If somebody drink alcohol, then immediately he gets reaction to that. As well as aprarabdha. What is aprarabdha is not manifested, but it is there inside. It's like a fruit. It's like a bija, like which will fructify. It's like a seed which will fructify afterwards. So what is in this scenario? This scenario, it is like that particular person who is having liquor, then next time he wants to again have it. That propensity is there. So that is aprarabdha. Aprarabdha gives rise to propensity or kutam. Right? But now let's go back to papam. So papam, what is the reason of papam? What is the reason of sin? Sinful desires is the reason of sin. Right? What is the reason of sinful desires? Avidya. Yeah, avidya. Sinful desire is bijam. So avidya. Right? So main reason is avidya. What bhakti does? What is avidya? Ignorance. So what ignorance? What point of ignorance? There are a lot of ignorance we have, but main Ignorance. Correct. Yeah. So what we are with the ignorance, what we have is we think that we are enjoyer, we think we are body. Then we start in that avidya, we start doing bijam, papam, and then everything starts. So only bhakti yoga actually eradicates all this. Right? Everybody agrees. So that's the reason bhakti yoga is important compared to these different kinds of yoga. Right? Okay. And
one of the characteristics even after giving provide time, somebody speaks material attachment
while chanting.
while chanting. So while chanting, otherwise,
You should continue to chant always, right? 24 hours. So there is no escape. I'm saying, even if I say while chanting, so in reality, what that means, right? That means yes, we shouldn't have the material attachment. So what exactly? It's very difficult, right? What exactly? Say for example, if I am working, does that mean I shouldn't expect that I have to complete my project? It's my material desire, right? Yeah.
say how what is our consciousness depends on that.
Correct. So our consciousness that we will be going in this one verse in this will go little deeper on that particular part. What I am going to try today. Yeah. Yeah. If it doesn't clarify, please raise. Okay. Okay. Then we discuss about we discussed about mind, right? Last week we discussed about me and my mind. We saw. So anybody wants to tell what exactly they liked in that? There are so many things shown, right? Any specific thing you liked, specific to our mind or your mind, specific to, which really hit you hard, saying yes, this is what is the right thing. Any specific thing anybody wants to share? Yeah, even me also. That was a good case where he basically doesn't listen to mind and he hits the mind. It's hard, so we have to hit hard minds sometimes. Kali also, yeah.
We also give the chanting to
Bead. So yeah, that was also very good. Correct. That is because your mind first attracts to Krishna, and then the soul comes here. So we try to saw last time the verses what we had, that it was telling about the number 4 and then number 5. Yeah, one must deliver himself with the help. That is fifth verse we saw. One must deliver himself with the help of his mind and not degrade himself. The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul and his enemy as well. So mind can be friend, mind can be enemy, right? So how mind can be friend? Friend. So mind can help you to reach your goal. How mind is enemy? Enemy, correct. So mind is not controlled by us. Then it is, then it is enemy. So let's little bit, maybe couple of minutes we'll do it. Why mind is enemy? But what is enemy? What is the definition of enemy?
It becomes an obstruction in the path which we have to actually go. But because of the problem of mind, we like to take the direction, and we are not able to achieve.
But in the next verse, it is mentioned as, if you see sixth verse, his mind will remain the greatest enemy. Why it is called greatest enemy? Yeah, but why it is greatest enemy? Let's understand. Okay, closer. So,
Because without the comprehension of the mind, we cannot.
but how it is greatest enemy? Let's understand what is enemy. What we call in normal word. What is enemy? Correct. Which causes an harm. Right? That is what we call as an enemy, which causes in harm. What is the greatest harm an enemy can cause us? Kill us. Death. What mind does if it is an enemy? Multiple times it kills us, right? Because we have body after body because of mind only. Right? If mind is straight, mind is helping us, mind is a friend, then we will not have these material bodies. But what is happening? Mind is always trying to enjoy, and then we are getting body after body, and then we are getting killed each time. So that's the reason it is enemy. Right? Then we discussed about that once mind is controlled, then it is the greatest friend. Right? It's a friend, and that control situation is called Yoga Rudha. Right? Yoga Rudha position. And that is what we will see in next verses, that what are the symptoms of Yoga Rudha stage. Right? So Yoga Rurukshu and Yoga Rudha stage. Right? So basic and advanced. So advanced stage is Yoga Rudha, where mind is controlled. So what is the symptoms? So we'll start with 7, verse 7. Please repeat after me. Jitatmanaha prashantasya Paramatma samahitah Shitoshna sukha dukkheshu Tatha manapamanayoh Jitatmanaha prashantasya Paramatma samahitah Shitoshna sukha dukkheshu Tatha manapamanayoh. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. For one, please repeat after me. For one who has conquered the mind, the super soul is already reached, for he has attained tranquility. To such a man, happiness and distress, heat and cold, honor and dishonor are all the same. So we'll read purport. Actually, every living entity is intended to abide by the dictation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is seated in everyone's heart as Paramatma. When the mind is misled by the external illusory energy, one becomes entangled in material activities. Therefore, as soon as one's mind is controlled through one of the yoga systems, one should be considered to have already reached the destination. One has to abide by superior dictation. When one's mind is fixed on superior nature, he has no alternative but to follow the dictation of the Supreme. The mind must admit some superior dictation and follow it. The effect of controlling the mind is that one automatically follows the dictation of the Paramatma or Super Soul. Because this transcendental position is at once achieved by one who is in Krishna consciousness, the devotee of the Lord is unaffected by the dualities of material existence, namely distress and happiness, cold and heat, etc. This state is practical samadhi or absorption in the Supreme. Right? So if you see what it is said, right, the person who is situated in that or who conquered the mind, for him happiness and distress, heat and cold, honor and dishonor are all the same. Right? So how it is possible? How can we see that all that same? Right? How can we see that? So only way I could think is we can see if you recognize, if you can realize, if you can see Krishna in those situations, those circumstances, then only we can make it as same. How can we make happiness and distress same? Right? Thinking that it is Krishna's energy, Krishna's arrangement. Then only you can do that. Right? Is there any other way? Right? But how should we think? We shouldn't think like a Mayavadi concept. Right? What is Mayavadi concept? Yes, everything is Krishna, you are Krishna, I am Krishna, everybody is Krishna, eventually we will be Narayan. Not like that. So how we should understand? Everything is arranged by Krishna. Everything, whatever we see, is the part and parcel of Krishna and his extended energy. Right? Isn't it? But is it possible? Sometimes somebody can come and tell me, oh Prabhu, how it is possible? There are so many issues in my life. How can I say it's Krishna is doing this? Right? So how we can understand that practically? Correct. But even the bad is happening, there is another one more step we need to go forward. Right? That step, maybe I can tell one story. You might have heard this story. Right? He wants us to go one step. Yeah. And we don't know whether it is bad or no. Right? We think that it is bad. Correct. If Krishna is doing that, first thing is we need to have full faith that yes, Krishna is doing that. Right? If first step is that, if you believe that Krishna is doing that, then will Krishna do something bad to you? Right? It's like our father. Right? Sometimes father will be scolding us, but that doesn't mean that it is wrong. Right? It is bad. Right? So we need to see that perspective, how it is possible. So very good story is there. Most of you may know also, but it's appropriate here. This is about a king and his minister. Right? The minister is devotee, so always he tells the king, oh, everything is happening because of Krishna. This is Krishna's arrangement. This is Krishna's wish. Right? Once then king cutting something, he cuts his finger. He cuts his finger completely, and he is in tremendous pain. He comes back and he tells to all minister. Every minister is trying to make him comfortable and telling, oh yeah, very bad thing happened. I don't know why it happened. You are so nice and still bad things are happening. All that they are trying to pamper him. Now this minister comes, then the king tells the same thing. The minister said, this is also Krishna's wish. This is all happening because of Krishna. Right? It's all God's desire, he tells. This is happening because of God's desire and it is good, he tells. As soon as he tells it is good, the king becomes very angry. He said, how is possible that this is good? I've lost my finger, I am in pain and you are saying it is good and it is Krishna's desire, Lord's desire. He immediately puts that minister in the jail, behind the bars. Right? And then after a day or so, the king goes for a hunting in different part of his kingdom. Not exactly, but he crosses also his kingdom. So then by the time he is trying to kill some animal, hunt for animal, he loses the way, and then he actually gets separated from his soldiers, and he is alone. And then some community from the jungle, from the forest, they captures him, and this community is actually looking for a person to give sacrifice to their lord, their goddess or god. So they are very happy that very strong person they got, so that they can give him, and then their goddess will be very happy. So they capture him, they properly dress him so that they can present him, and then they decide that let's get his head chopped. And as soon as they try to do that, then one of them comes running and tells something to that person, and then they again take him out and checks him. So he is missing one finger. So they say, oh no, that is not possible. Now we cannot basically give him as a sacrifice to the goddess. So they release him. Now then king realizes, oh, now what my minister was saying is correct. This is happened for my good, because if my finger is complete, then they would have actually gave me as a sacrifice, and no more king. So he comes back and he immediately releases the minister and he thanks him. Thank you so much. You are giving me proper guidance. Then he says, I have one more question, that it is okay that it happened with me. It was Krishna's arrangement and it was good because I know now. But why did Krishna put you in the jail? He asks. Right? So the minister says, that is also Krishna's arrangement. If I am not in jail, then I would be with you in the forest, and instead of you, they would have sacrificed me. Right? So it is good that I was in jail, so I saved myself. Krishna actually arranged this. So in both the situations, it was bad situation, right? But in the end, it turned out to be actually very good. They saved their lives. That particular arrangement saved their life. So many times we don't know, right? So what we should see? We should see that Krishna is arranging our life. Only thing we can do is be ready to take what he is giving and surrender to him. Right? Yeah.
Other way we are saying that whatever happens,
Very, very good point. Actually, both look contradictory, but the way to see is that the best example would be, say for example, that there is a worker, right? So the worker is choosing to do a particular type of work. Say he is choosing to construct a road. Right? He is helping in constructing the road. So in that particular scenario, he has to do lot of effort to construct the road, right? But for the same road project, there could be an engineer who is also helping in the road project, right? But he is wishing to work as an engineer. His desire is to work as an engineer. He is also going through his own suffering to construct that road, right? Both are doing the same thing, right? But their level of suffering is different because of their desire. So how to understand this? Right? The understanding is that eventually everybody of us have to learn and improve. Right? The learning chapters, the learning, the sections will be different depending on our desires. If somebody's desire is to enjoy, he will learn, but he will learn in a difficult way. You understand? That is also arranged through Krishna. Nothing is there which is not arranged by Krishna. Now multiple times we discussed about this, right? There are two ways to burn our karma. What are the two ways to burn our karma? Correct. One is through suffering. Basically, you take care of that karma by experience the suffering. And the other one is chanting. Right? So, if our desire is to going through that other path, then yes, Krishna has arranged that. Our desire is to go through chanting, yes, Krishna arranged that. In both the cases, he arranged that, right? Did that give your answer? A little bit. So which point is not clear?
so what is the fact is that we are suffering because of our own desire.
Correct.
That is the reason we come. So And this all is arranged by you.
Correct.
That
Why it is arranged?
because we have to come back.
Why prison is arranged in this material world? No, the prison is arranged because they want to rectify that person, right? But that doesn't mean the king, not in this place, but say president. Right? He doesn't like to have. He shouldn't like to have the prison.
So it is up to us actually how we
Yes, correct.
so
That is
that is what
that is the key.
something will be there.
Okay, that is the key. That is the key.
Krishna has some arrangement that can make that something turn into
Correct. Now we have so many examples, right? We have Sivnam Prabhu's Guru Maharaj, right? He was having, severe case of cancer, where whole bones are getting, and it is, that particular type of cancer is very painful. But how he took that, right? So he took that as in Krishna's arrangement. He used for Krishna's service, sitting at Gitanagiri at one place without moving. He moved so many people, so many souls, that they again got attracted to Srila Prabhupada, again got attracted to Krishna.
what he suffered because of his own
Actually, for Guru, that doesn't work that way. Yeah. Right? Because it's like somebody is going in, some doctor is going in mental asylum. Right? He is dealing with all mentals only. It's suffering. Right? But that is his choice because he wanted to help. So Guru is like that. That arrangement is made so that what Guru wanted to achieve, it's achieved. Otherwise, nobody can touch them. Otherwise, nothing can happen them. If they desire, no, I don't want to have, any sufferings. They will not have. Correct.
but we can speak in such a way that that is the arrangement of Krishna so that
You can learn.
you can learn.
Correct. No, those arrangements are like that to learn.
So those arrangements are due to what we did in the past. Either our own desire or we did something bad in our previous life. So because of that, we come back and hear from this.
No, we are, see, there are multiple ways we can be in the material world. We can come to material world. But we came in material world. That is the main reason we are suffering.
Yeah.
Right?
And the main reason is our own desire.
Right. We wanted to enjoy ourselves.
So whatever is happening is because of, like without the book that we are just because of our own desire.
Correct.
And what we desire now, that we will be in the
Correct. You take action. You desire, you take action.
we feel one because of see. Then in our next birth, we may be in the family. So maybe in a better way where we left. There's the same way we can start.
Correct.
So this way we will improve our
Correct.
so but if we think like it is all consciousness that if we think that it is the opportunity for us to learn. So thinking that as a Krishna arrangement is related to thinking it.
That is what we need. It's not related to thinking. I will go. There is the next verse is talking about that. The next verse is talking about that. So let's read the next verse and then we can do that. So number 8, please repeat after me. Jnana Vijnana Truptatma Kutastho Vijitendriyaha Yukta Ityuchate Yogi Yukta Ityuchate Yogi Samaloshtrashma Kanchanaha. Samaloshtrashma Kanchanaha. Jnana Vijnana Truptatma. Kutastho Vijitendriyaha. Yukta Ityuchate Yogi. Samaloshtrashma Kanchanaha. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. A person is said to be established in self-realization, and it's called a yogi or mystic when he is fully satisfied by virtue of acquired knowledge and realization. Such a person is situated in transcendence and is self-controlled. He sees everything, whether it to be pebbles, stones, or gold, as the same. So to answer your question, it's vision, is not thinking. Okay? The vision, he sees everything, whether it be pebbles, stones, or gold, as the same. Right? Now vision means then we can just go to the eye doctor, fix our eyes, and then we are done. We are in Yoga Rudha situation. Right? It's easy, isn't it? If you want to fix that. No? So what vision is that? The spiritual vision, actually, that eyes of the soul. Right? So what is happening with the eyes of our soul? Either closed or lot of dust is there, right? Few of us have these spectacles, right? We are wearing. Now if there is a dust, what will happen? You will not be able to see properly, clearly, right? So what we need to do to see clearly? Clean the glasses, right? So that is what is missing. So how we will clean the glasses? Chanting. Everybody knows, right? So we have the answer or solution, but we need to work towards that. Right? So what we need to do, that particular vision we should develop. What that vision should be? That vision should be that this is happening because of my own karma and desire, but Krishna is so merciful that he arranged this situation so that I can learn and move forward towards him. Right? Is it contradictory? Is it contradictory? Not clear. See, one situation is, yeah, go ahead. Correct. That's correct, yes.
During that time, we start thinking that this blank is connected because of Krishna. Then we may start wrongly holding him responsible for blanking.
Yeah, that is what my example was. The whole conversation started with that, right? That if we wanted to, say Krishna has arranged, but why he arranged? He arranged so that we can improve ourselves. That is the way we should think about it. I gave this example many times, right? That if I ask my son, okay, you have to complete this test, right? Especially maths. If I ask him, okay, you have to complete this 10 or 15, things, the maths, he becomes very upset, right? But why we do that? Why I do him to do that? He can improve in the maths, right? For him, it is like a suffering, real suffering, if you ask me. For him, yeah. But what is happening there? He will actually sharpen his mathematical ability. Same thing happens with us, that the situations are such that if we learn from the situations, then we will go to the next level. I saw this personally in my experience. I saw this personally in devotees' experiences. That real suffering, but they actually use that for Krishna's service. Take an example of Srila Prabhupada, right? Everybody knows, right? Now we know about Srila Prabhupada, now we know about ISKCON. But when he came through Jaladuta, right? That time, just forget about whatever suffering he had in, for a moment in Jaladuta, that voyage, right? But when he came to US, nobody was there to take him, to receive him. He alone, was there for a year or so. And when he came there, he was in Bauri and that area. Basically, they robbed his, trunk and some belongings, whatever he had. So, tremendous suffering. But what he did, he continued thinking this is Krishna's arrangement. Maybe that is not useful. That's the reason it was taken. Right? When Prabhupada was in Jhansi, because when he left his house, then he went to Jhansi and he started one, I think League of Devotee as a group. He started there. I think when he was there, he received a telegram, and then then Prabhupada just chuckled and kept aside that telegram. The students asked him, Prabhupada, what is that telegram? He said that the business which I was running, there was a fire and everything was burnt. So Prabhupada, it is very serious thing. Why don't you go there and fix it? He said, no, maybe it happened for good, because Krishna wants me to leave that attachment as well. So he just put that in a right perspective, that Krishna arranged this so that even the last thing what I had attachment, that also is gone. So what we should see, yes, it is because of our own karma, right? It is because of our own desires, but now whatever is in front of us, take that as a tool, take that as a study book and try to connect to Krishna. Right? We have multiple ways to see that. One way is that we can think, oh no, this is just because of me. I am the main cause. Right? Then we will not learn anything, right? It's a simple, in material world also we see, right? If you want to learn from the problem, first thing is you need to move away from the problem. Right? Then only you can learn from the problem. So that we should understand, that Krishna has arranged this.
We think that it is because of something, somebody else, and will not try to.
Correct. That is what I am saying. The second
is a
failure. Second one also is, you blame somebody, to neighbor, saying because of him only that happened. Right? And third thing is, it's my opportunity to learn. This is my exam. Right? In 1 minute, Mataji. I think in purport, or I read in surrender unto me. Burijan Prabhu is saying, in same verse, Burijan Prabhu is saying, the mind you should beat so much that the same you beat what do you call, foreman, right? He beats on the anvil, the metal to make it straight. So like that you should beat, so that mind will be straight. So that beating is what? To tell mind, no, this is happening because of your own thing, but take this as an opportunity to reach to Krishna. Yeah. Again and again. Correct. That is what my experience is. I repeated before also. If something is coming again and again in your life, take that as a clue that something Krishna wants you to learn. That immediately you learn. Yeah. Many times we don't know what Krishna wants to learn. There are so many problems. Right? So pray to Krishna. Krishna, what do you want me to learn? That particular layer is so strong. Unless we break that, we will not be able to understand what Krishna wants us to learn. It's very strong to break. If we think that I don't have problem, like there is no problem with me, then how we will learn? I personally experienced that. The things Krishna put in front of me, those I never thought that those are my problem. Those are because of me. I never thought. But once I started realizing that, then what happens? You improve, right? Then you take steps to rectify those. See, if we have any problems with our body, we can rectify, right? If we have problem with our mind, difficult to rectify. So you have to give more effort. Intelligence, more effort. False ego, further effort. False ego is such that, it's so subtle that many times we don't know, yeah, really I have false ego. So unless you know, and then that's the reason Krishna is bringing these situations in our life, right? More effort. No, to rectify, to purify. Because it is in cover. It is in covered. Yeah, it should. It should. But what happens if it is impure, right? Then it tries to say, why Krishna? Why not me? Right? So, yeah, the point which I wanted to make, that particular dirt, what we have in our vision, that we have to clean. And everybody knows what is the method of cleaning. Right? Chanting, chanting, chanting. Right? So, any question? Any question or comments? Or it was, yeah.
We just treat it normal.
Let me put it in this way, right? Suddenly it came in my mind. Let me put it in this way, and tell me if it doesn't answer. Then please do. See what happens that. See, the situation is, there is a situation. From there we have to learn from the situation. Now the variables in that situation is controlled by our desire and karma. So if you have if you have bad karma, bad desires, there are more variables in that situation. So what happens? That situations become more problematic to learn. So we have more issues because we have more desire, more bad karma. But if somebody else is there, similar situation is there, but there are less variables in his situations. So in that particular set, it's straightforward learning, no confusion. Right? So karma acts like that. Our desire acts like that. It increases the variable. We say right many times, make it our life simple. Don't make it complicated. So similar to that, if it is complicated situation, then we will learn. Our learning capacity is less or difficult. Yes.
In one case, we can choose to think about our problems as this karmic. The other option is to think that
No, both can simultaneously go together. Right? First, understand that this is happening because of yes. But now I take this as an opportunity. Krishna is so wonderful, so nice. He is giving me this intelligence that learn from this, and then I am trying to learn from this. Right? Same example, right? I can give a simple layman that if my son thinks that yes, this is happening because I don't know the maths. My father wants me to learn the math. So in that attitude, if he tries to solve that paper, he will learn faster. Then he thinks that, oh no, this is, why they are giving me so much suffering. Then he will have difficulty in learning. It's exactly same situation we need to do. Anything else? Doing the same mistake again and again. Correct. Very nice. There are, this is good example what you gave, but there are people who knows that it is karma but still do. You know? Yeah. Yes.
somebody asked is asking the family that can we take the pain of dog
Yeah.
that somebody that my experience it can never be done. So Kim said let's we should not assume that just
Right.
take the thing like this. We should do practically we should see if that it really will happen or not. And he tells his 4 5 minutes to keep on pet your dog as a pet and for 6 months everybody try to straighten his tail. So somebody I think the heavy thing down the tail so he
Right, right.
or and the king himself get a pet
Yeah.
and he put a pipe
Yeah, tube. Yeah.
tube the tail for 6 months and everybody is doing like that and Tenali Rama he stopped overfeeding puppy. We just gave him that much food that is just sufficient to keep the family that is to keep him alive. That's it. And that he has no force to run here and there. Giving him this much so he should be alive. That's it. Then after 6 months, everybody bringing the puppies back in the family, and they are opening their eyes, whatever.
Right.
And nobody's
Able to show.
tails or straight up. But when Tenali Rama brought this puppy is so weak, and his tail is straight. And then he spoke a very good statement behind that. That man's mind is like that. If you keep giving him what he wants, then it will get more empowered. And if you just give up
Control. Yeah.
controlled, then in a controlled way, then it will be aligned and safe.
Yeah. Very nice. So we need to control mind by whipping it, by beating it, right? Yeah. But there are multiple ways, right? Beating is very animated, we can see, but mind you cannot beat that way. Right? So how we can control mind?
Not giving any chance to do which is just to do wrong, which is not
That is easy, right?
not in me.
That is easy because you know this is wrong, so you want control. But there are multiple times that it's not clear, which is right or wrong. Right? So association will give
Sometimes it
that
is clear it is wrong, but you still
to conditioning, right? Okay. So any other, yeah, Mataji, you had a question? Satisfied with story? Yes. Yeah, I'm just reading. So your question, if you can repeat, Mataji. Yeah, I'm, no, I saw that. No, I'm just trying to connect.
What we had in that here, the one yesterday we saw, right? When both mind and religion, like the soul and the mind started chanting and reaching the passage to Krishna's song will be very
Wait, no, I didn't understand the question. So, question is what exactly meaning of this? Yeah. So, see, yeah. So, what Prabhupada is saying, right? That um, transcendence, right? There, how exactly you can realize the transcendence, right? One way people think that by knowledge you will only understand transcendence, but Prabhupada never said that. Right? Prabhupada always put service in front, right? So only knowledge is not sufficient. So Jnana and Vigyan both are needed. Right? Transcendence. So saturation with transcendental service. 1 minute. Sorry, 1 minute. Hare Krishna. Okay. Very well. We don't have video. Sorry, I had to take because there were a couple of emergencies in past week, so I have to see. So, huh? Okay. So I have to take the calls coming from home. So spiritually saturated by so transcendental service. Basically, if we have our life with full with service to transcendence or to Lord, then it will be automatically revealed. So what exactly that means? Will we leave what we are doing and do Lord's service? Then what? We should do for Lord, not consider. Yeah, we should do for Lord. Then what will happen? Eventually, that particular stage will take us to a level where name of the Lord will be revealed. Everything of the Lord will be revealed. Because now everything ourselves, correct, with transcendental service. We should do that, not consider. Right? We should do that. So how we will do it? Yes, maybe it's first start with that, but check and balance. Right? Sometimes we are doing for ourselves, right? And then, yeah. No, when we are thinking, that time I am saying. If we are thinking we are doing for Krishna, but if we are doing for ourselves, then it is. So first step is yes, we need to have that understanding, that knowledge. Yes, I am doing for Krishna. Why I am doing for Krishna? Because I want to serve Krishna. And then continue that. That will be a saturation. Eventually, we will be saturated with transcendental knowledge. Sorry, transcendental service. Right? Okay, anything else? Okay. So, maybe another 5 minutes if everybody is okay. Number 9, you're saying? Oh, the purport of 8. Actually, these verses are telling that Yoga Rudha's situation, what are the symptoms of that person? Right? So, this particular verse from Bhakti Rasamrut Sindhu is also telling the same thing, that only by our senses we will not get it, but we realize it if we do service, then it will realize. The point which is given in this particular verse is not only understanding through our senses. So what is understanding through our senses? Getting just knowledge through our senses, but that is not sufficient. Yeah, so we have to serve also. That is the main thing. Yeah. Okay. So another point I wanted to discuss, because there are some discussions going on now the situation coming for Durga Puja, many places. So there are questions that okay, should we do Durga Puja or no? Right? Many times that question comes in our mind. Right? So that is what I wanted to discuss. One more point, another 5 minutes. Right? That we should be clear that what exactly is that and why we should do. Right? So everybody is aware of Durga Devi's position. What is Durga Devi's position? External energy of Lord. Yes. Controller of material world. So what exactly she does? Bestows you. Correct. But what is her main role? Is that her main role? Yeah, she is. Yeah, she is serving because she is actually external potency, external energy of Krishna. She is a devotee. Right. But what is her main role? She doesn't.
But actually, yeah, she has the Maya. The one thing is like how would you overcome those
She makes sure that only pure or rectified people reach to Krishna. Right. So her main job is actually purification of the soul, so that pure souls go to Krishna. Right. So this is Durga. Material energy, material world is Durga. Right? Durga is a what do you call? Jail, killa, fort. Yes, Durga is the right word is fort. Right? So she is a controller of fort. She is a jailer of the fort. Real jailer's responsibility is what? Tell me. In material world, real jailer's responsibility is what? To improve. Right? So correct the prisoner, improve the prisoner. His responsibility is not that control the prisoner. So Durga Devi is also doing that. She is making sure we get purified and then go. Right? But if we perform puja for the jailer, right? For material advantages. Oh jailer, in this jail give me TV. Give me 2 times tea. Right? Will that help us? No, right? But what the jailer will like if a real jailer is there? What Durga Puja will be? What Durga Mata will like? If we sincerely attempt to be a devotee, because that is the purified state, right? Then that will be a real Durga Puja, isn't it? So that is what we should do as our offering to Durga Mata, that we wanted to be devotee, we are trying hard, we should try also hard, also pray hard, saying we want to be a devotee of Lord, we want to serve Vaishnavas, we want to serve Prabhupada, then that will be our prayer to Durga Devi. Everybody clear or any doubts? Correct. Correct. That is correct. But even if somebody has that inclination, right? So with this attitude, you can do. Because if somebody is doing for years, then suddenly it will be difficult for them. But then now don't ask anything. Ask devotion. That is what I am saying. If you are serving, correct. But as Mataji said, that Prabhupada, if we can do, that, nothing like it. Krishna, because it's like you are basically praying, serving the Supreme. So these all things will automatically come. But that doesn't mean we should be disrespectful. Because they are also very powerful personalities. They are devotees. They take the responsibility of a particular section, and that they take care of that section for Lord. Right? Okay. Yes, Mataji. Worshipping. Yeah, that is okay, but how you are worshipping, that is important, right? If you are worshipping to Venkateshwara to get more money, then I will give you 10% of that. Then that's a different story. If as a devotee you are worshipping, then that's good. But the ultimate is Krishna in Vrindavan, right? Because that's personal. It's the same personality, right? Is at home and at work. There is relation at work, relation at home. The relation at home is more intimate. Okay. Sorry, I took 1 minute more.
Then bringing up kids, what should I concentrate more on? Should I make the food sufficient or should I educate them? As in, should I teach them to read and write first or should I teach them slokas and so on? Huh?
You should educate them spiritually.
That is important to let them know.
But I don't see a difference in that, right? Because they have to be educated. There is no question there. But how you want to educate is you have to combine both the things. Is there a situation where you can do only one, not the other?
Sometimes to see if I want, do I want my kid to go to Harvard or do I want him to be
Going to Harvard is if it is his inclination, he should go to Harvard. Because if you don't allow him to go to Harvard, but his inclination is Harvard, he cannot be good devotee also. Being in Harvard, he can be a good devotee. He can go Oxford, there are a lot of devotees. Yeah, there is a Sangha actually. Very strong Sangha. They continuously, they regularly do Kirtan. Very hardcore devotees. Yeah, I gave.
I just got that book and it was very nice.
Very nice.
I read and it really brought a lot of change.
Yeah.
Like I used to first prefer this to get that's what is my question. I was too much fussy about it. And after reading that book, my first emphasis is that I should take chant first and then go to that. That's exactly what he has done his homework, whether he has done his homework, that I don't ever now remind him of it in the morning, every time when you do Mangala, it is useful. And the grades are really coming up. On my own. Read that book. It was very good.
Very good book. That is what I was telling. Yeah. Yeah.
Now Prabhu teaches small slokas, whatever from Gita, he teaches small slokas. From Sunday should I ABC first or
The,
so that's
the ABCD will automatically come.
because she wrote specially that Prabhupada always writes that whatever answer he kids have to do only and only to make them Prabhupada. Only this much. They don't have to fast, they don't have to chant, they don't have to do the only and only answer is what they have to do.
Even that book tells for homeschooling, but it is not really because it gives so many tips that we can use in our regular life also. And very nice. And those are actually realized thing because she already did that. Her both the sons are highly educated. Yeah, like one I think at the age of 16 he graduated. Yeah, that was a record in its Idaho State. Her second son. Yeah, those minor. Yeah, very good. Yeah. Only don't get it wrong that yes, one we have to leave for the other. No, we cannot do that, right? But the emphasis should be more, on this, because that is the base. Right? If the base is strong, these things will automatically come, and they actually they will get it much easier, right? Both the things much faster. In reality, we are the block. for their progress. Yeah, our, because I saw.
Heard parents say that, that they have to learn swimming, they have to learn music, they have to learn dance, whatever. Where is the time?
Right. Yeah. No, I saw personally that when I used to go to tobacco, each and every the kid, now they are in, I think, Pandav Sena youth. Amazing. They do all these things and they are like doctor and engineers. That's it. Nobody is down, less than that. Everybody is highly. They're doing PhD and you will see them. I saw them, personally when they were, young, much younger. Very nicely, all this, they participated in drama. They participated in all the activities. Comes every day, every Sunday they come. They used to come and then, you will be amazed. Education. Yeah, that. Yeah, we eat lot Mataji on Ekadashi, so there is no problem. Yeah, we have so much. Yeah, but we are not tell. If they, it's not like stop them completely. Right? If they really want it, eventually they will only know. Like, no, it's okay not to eat that.
John heard Ekadashi Katha in his Sunday school class.